Hi, my name is John. Thanks for joining me on today's first episode of Stubble Meets Steel. I wanted to kind of redo and review one of my razors that I haven't used in a while. I recently bought a Game Changer by Razorock in the 0.68 closed comb, and it was a little bit too mild for me. So I remember the Lupo being a little bit better, and I like to put it with a stainless steel handle. You kind of get a Lupo 0.58, but with the cheaper cost if you already have a handle like one from Razorock that'll fit it. So I wanted to kind of revisit it and see what I thought of it. I remember it being really smooth, but I remember it being a little bit too abrasive sometimes on my neck. My hair is pretty coarse, and I find that my neck can be overly sensitive sometimes, so I kind of have to find that Goldilocks razor that's efficient but not too mild, and it's hard to find sometimes. I can shave with the mild razor, and sometimes it just doesn't get it done. So let's take a look, see how it works. Today I'm going to be using one of my favorites. It's a Treet Falcon. It's a carbon steel blade. It's not like the Black Beauty as far as it's not coated. It's not black. It just looks like stainless steel blade. It doesn't rust quite as easily as the Black Beauties I find. I find them really smooth and really sharp, and they pretty much work in every razor I've tried them in, so I'm really enjoying them for right now. So that's what we're going to use for hardware. Software, I got a sample of Stirling's hot apple cider. I love it this time of year. It smells like a hot apple cider drink that you get at a good coffee stand in a winter somewhere up in the Pacific Northwest or something. Just awesome. I usually just load it in a bowl and just kind of smear it around like that when I have the samples. I did buy a puck of this one, so I'm just using up the sample, and that way I can roll in the tub hopefully pretty soon here. So let's get going. I'm gonna do a face lather. I just use the bowl to get going. I found that when I first started shaving, I really had a hard time getting kind of abrasive shaves, and I found that once I started face lathering, I had a lot better consistent shaves all the time. Just worked better for my skin, I guess. I guess I agree with Matt from Razor Emporium that why spend all that time building up a great lather and bowl? Why not build it on your face? That way you're working it in and getting it going. I shave every day for the most part, guys. You know, I once in a while I'll go every other day, but for the most part I shave every day. So I don't like really aggressive razors. It's just not needed for what I'm doing. For the brush, I'm using a Razorock. I'm using Big Bruce 26 millimeter knot synthetic. I really like it. It lathers up really great, really easy. Doesn't hold as much lather and water as the Beehive, the 28 mil brush from them, but I really like this one too. The handle's really great on it. Had a little bit too much water in there. You can still shake it off sometimes. Don't be afraid to shake off water when you're getting the things going. Might have still had too much water in there. We'll see if we can work up something decent here. Might have my worst face lather ever on my first video. That makes sense, right? Yeah, this is really watery. We'll see what we can do here. I find that's kind of one of the advantages of doing a face lather. It's easier to kind of bounce back if you put too much water in. And then by the time it's all perfect lather, it's already on your face. You're good to go. Let's see what we can make happen here. I really seem to like the synthetic knots, and I like the bigger knots. I find that they just make the lather pop so quick. I don't have to work, I don't have to soak the brush beforehand. I can just get right into it. Oh, look at that, we're good to go. I was able to save it just fine. Already got a nice lather going. I find with the face lather, if you can find that sweet spot of almost starting off with not necessarily too much water, but not dry either, it just pops so quick. You don't even have to work at it. I haven't even added any water. I don't know if I really need to. There was so much water in the brush to start with. I might just roll with this. I find that when you can feel it getting dense like it is now, when you slap the brush down, you can feel that cushion between your face and the brush. And you know, it's pretty much hydrated. And you can start getting, look at those peaks and stuff forming on my cheeks. And just for the heck of it, why not? I'll just use the spray brush and get, spray bottle rather, and a little bit of water. Work that water in a little bit. All right, I'm happy with that. I'd say that'd be my only beef with the Razorock, that handle on that brush for whatever reason. Kind of gets all over your hands a little bit and it's a little bit slippery. The shape is comfy, but there's no ridges or anything, so a little hard to hold on to. All right, first pass, this is my with the grain on my neck. Feels good. I like that combo with that blade. Again, this is the aluminum Lupo. They say it's comparable to the stainless steel one that's now out, the Lupo 0.58. I thought about getting that one for a while. And then I swear the next 5 shaves I had with this aluminum one I didn't like, and then I'm like, maybe I don't want the stainless one. I just didn't find the efficiency was there with the 0.68 for me. I shimmed it. That was the first time I ever shimmed a razor. Just took another razor blade and cut the cutting edges off. Put it on between the base plate and the top cap and the blade. Definitely made it a little bit more aggressive. Nothing crazy. It was still smooth, but definitely not as smooth as just the 0.68 close comb comes out of the box. But now I'm not sure if the 0.76 would be any better. I got a real pointy Adam's apple, guys. I don't know about you, but I find that if I just pull it over like I've seen other guys do when I first started shaving, it works a lot better for me than if I try to go over the Adam's apple either up or down. I can get away with it with like the 6C or something real smooth and real forgiving, but gotta be careful. I find if I choke up on the razor a little bit, come more like this, instead of further down, if I choke up on it, and when I come over the Adam's apple and those pointy parts, a lot less prone to cutting myself. How about you guys? Well, I gotta say, I don't know if it's just because I haven't used this in a while or that this is the first time I've tried this blade. Really been enjoying these blades a lot, and every razor I've tried them in, they're just great. The price on them is ridiculous. It was like $16 for 200 of them. I didn't buy them for that. I bought them just because I wanted to try carbon steel. I tried them in a sampler and I really liked them. I like the Treet Platinum and the Black Beauties, and I've done head-to-heads with the Black Beauties and these. I can't put my finger on it, but I just tend to like these Falcons a little bit better than the Black Beauties. They just don't get any love because they don't have the cool look as the black ones. The Black Beauties, you know, they look cool. Everybody likes that murdered out black look, you know? All right, first pass, good. Neck's not irritated or anything yet, anyways. It's all about how the against the grain on the neck goes. Get wet a little bit. Let's get going on our second pass. Got tons of lather in that brush. I usually just use this little metal spoon for the samples and I fill it about halfway full or so, and I find that that's a good sample amount. The samples last forever. For $4, they're awesome. You get to really try the scent, most importantly. I've only had one sterling one, that was the Ozark Mountain, I think it was, that bothered my skin for whatever reason. But of all the countless samples I've tried from them, that was the only one that bothered me. I just find that sometimes with the scents, they can be disappointing. So it's totally personal. What I love, you might not love. So I like that they offer the samples. I think that's cool. And the ones I don't like, I just give away usually. I don't know anybody local, so it's hard to give them away sometimes. Give my old boss, I don't know how many samples and different shaving products now. He's starting his own boutique probably, all the stuff I've given him. All right, let's go against the grain on the neck. Not bad, it's just right there that I don't love with this razor. But it's always that spot on my neck that's always kind of picky with razors. Same with this side right here. I pass right there. That's where I can't use the aggressive razors even though I'd like to with my sensitive neck. I wish it could be like a Geo Fat Boy and turn it up to a 6 and just rock out, but it's not happening. I look like I put a cheese grater in my face for 3 days. All right. I don't always do cross the grain down on the bottom part of my neck. I mostly just do it on this top part here. I give it a feel after this pass and see what I need to do. But I find that that can sometimes irritate, especially with the more medium aggression razor. Like I would personally consider this Lupo. Again, just on my neck. On my cheeks and everything else doesn't bother me at all. I personally never understood why guys want to see all the shaving channels with 2, 3, 4, 5 days growth or whatever. I pretty much never have that much growth. I don't know what those guys do. I guess you don't have a job where they don't care if you're clean shaven or not. But I like to look presentable at my job. Soap smells great, man. Apple, cinnamon, perfect for this time of year. And I love the clove, and it doesn't bother my face. Although my face can be sensitive with some soaps, the clove and the cinnamon doesn't bother it at all. I did buy a sample first, though. That's why I bought this sample, because I saw their disclaimer, and I said, you know what, I'm sensitive. Let me try it before I go buy in a tub, even though I knew that I love that scent profile. Excuse me. Very smooth there. Decent under the nose. Being honest, I usually have to do the pig nose face. I'll spare you guys that show, so I'll do that part after camera. Pretty good so far. Feels real good under there. See, that's what I remember about this Lupo, is it's way more efficient than that 0.68 already. I swear this was about where I was with the 3-pass shave yesterday with that game changer. All right, let's do the finish up against the grain on the face and the chin. A little pasty on this last pass here. Let's add some water to this. It's a little better. That's good enough for what I gotta do. I find that if I not only go up against the grain, but a little bit of an angle, like a 45, I can catch any of those rogue hairs and I won't have to do a cleanup. Whereas if I just go straight up, always have to do a cleanup. I always strive for the BBS. I don't know what guys are thinking with the 1 or 2 pass. If it works for you, that's cool. But if I'm gonna shave, I want to be BBS when I'm done. Otherwise, I'll just skip a day. It's like getting gas and getting half a tank. Why bother? Just fill it up. I'm already there, you know, like you really don't have that extra minute or 2, I guess, maybe. Again, then I just won't shave. I prefer to shave after. I get home every day, take my time. That's my me time, my reset time. Sometimes the family isn't home yet from school and other activities, so the house will be quiet. Oh, I gotta say, yet again, these carbon steel blades just work really well for me. They're not the sharpest, they're not the smoothest, but they just seem to be a little bit rigid. And they just have the best combination of smoothness and sharpness. And honestly, for me, I usually toss most blades after 2-3 shaves anyways, so pretty much any blade I find will last that. Also pretty smooth under here. To me, that's the make or break pass for most razors for me, is the against the grain pass under the nose there, and just way too aggressive on some razors. That was actually pretty smooth, no complaints. Yeah, that's way more efficient. Even with the shim and the 0.68 game changer, it didn't even come close to this. And that's it. I'm gonna call it. That's BBS, baby. That's good stuff. I like it. Again, Treet Falcon carbon steel blade. Good stuff. Check them out. I really like it. All right, I'm gonna rinse up. And I learned this from Double Y. I really like it. It's been my post-shave game night and day. Wring out the brush. I figure the longer that lanolin, all that skin food on my face, better it's gonna soak in. More I'm gonna notice that quality post-shave. I don't have to go crazy with 100 different products for post-shave. I don't use an alum block, so I usually just pop in some Thayer's Witch Hazel on my face, let that soak in, and then I'll come in with an aftershave. And that's usually about it. If my face feels dry, I'll usually put on a balm, but after the fact. Rinse out my brush, rinse out my stuff. You guys leave your blades and your razors? I always take my stuff apart and dry it off. But I've noticed a lot of buddies that I have loaned stuff to or talked to, they always leave their razors in. I think that's kind of weird, I don't know. To me, my dad always taught me with like a paint gun or something like that, you always clean it after. You won't have problems with it if you clean it right away. In case anybody wanted to know, all of the Razorock stainless steel handles do fit onto the aluminum Lupo just fine. This is the barber pole handle, and man, this is my favorite. I have the UFO by them, I have the Bulldog, and hands down, this one is fantastic. I love this raised bit here. When you're doing the against the grain, it just falls in your hand, just perfect. And the knurling on this just seems to be just a cut above. I don't know if it's because that barber pole pattern or what, but man, perfect handle, perfect length in my opinion. I like that I can rest it here on my pinky like that when I'm doing all my normal passes. And then for the against the grain, that raised knob on the end there, man, that's just money. That's perfect. Great ergos. All right, I'm gonna rinse this off. I'm pretty much done here, guys. This is my aftershave go-to. I love this particular scent. I love that coconutty, Caribbean, tropical type scents. So to me, that's just perfect. Goes with almost anything. I make a lavender one. I used to use that, and I do if I really get an irritation, and I'll put some essential oil of lavender in your hand as well and mix it together. But lowers testosterone, lavender does. So does menthol and mint. A lot of guys don't know that about menthol and mint. So I personally don't use any menthol products for that reason. Not once in a great while I will, but very rarely. I have a Duke Cannon aftershave balm that I do like. And today I think I'll use some Clubbin lime sec. Good smell. Nice and mild lime scent with just a little bit of Clubman's stereotypical talc or powder scent in there. It's a good one. Not as much of my favorite as the traditional Clubman just aftershave lotion, the yellow. That one to me that's perfect. Barbershop scent with that little bit of talc in there. That's my favorite and also my wife's favorite. So all right, guys, thanks for joining me today. recap of the Lupo, I actually really liked it with that razor combo. Maybe it was just that razor blade combo of that Treet carbon steel Falcon blade was perfect, but I really like that combo and I would suggest it. So I'm happy I didn't wind up selling it to my buddy. I definitely like it better than the Game Changer .68. It was definitely more efficient, but not overly aggressive in any negative way, at least with that blade combo pairing. So check it out, see what you think. I like it quite a bit. Thanks for joining me. Hope you liked the first episode of Stubble Meets Steel, and I hope to see you guys soon. Take it easy.